Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Spanish Town Mayor requests report on altercation between vendors and JCF officers. The chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation has requested a police report regarding yesterday's confrontation between vendors and members of the police force in the Burkewood area. Mayor Norman Scott told reporters that the altercation occurred during a joint operation between the police and the municipal team to remove the vendors who were selling illegally in the area. In a video, which has been circulating on social media, at least one man is seen arguing with a lawman and holding what appears to be a machete. One woman was apparently pepper sprayed by a cop while another woman appeared to have fainted. The incident descended into further chaos when a member of the police force reportedly discharged his firearm. According to the mayor, during the Christmas period last year, the vendors had been allowed to sell at certain sections of the roadway, but that discretion expired last month. He said a meeting is to be held with the vendors to facilitate discussions. He stressed that there is adequate space in the market for vendors.
In December, the municipal corporation gave vendors as customary sections of roadways for vending. That period ended, I think, somewhere in the first week of January. However, vendors in the Burkewood area were still occupying the spaces that were given to them, although the timing had ended. It was expected that the municipal team would have invited these vendors for a meeting to discuss and to make them aware that the time has ended and that they are to go back to their spaces. An operation yesterday between the JCF and the municipal team was carried out in the area, and an altercation erupted. I'm yet to get the full details as to what really transpired. I've asked for the reports to be brought to me, so I await the report. I must say, vendors are converging on the sidewalks, and it is illegal. And as I indicated earlier, that intend to have a meeting, and I expect that meeting to be done as early as next week for the vendors and the municipal team to have the discussion.
Gin and Panton charged with several offenses in SSL fraud. The main suspect in the multi-million-dollar fraud at Stocks and Security Limited, Gin and Panton, has been charged with several offenses. She was charged on February 17. Head of the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch CTOC, Senior Superintendent Dr. Anthony McLaughlin, noted that several charges has been laid against Ms. Panton. He says on January 11 this year, SSL reported a case of fraud against Ms. Panton, which is being probed by the Fraud Squad and the Financial Investigations Division. He states that investigators have been working closely with the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and were guided in relation to the charges laid against Ms. Panton. The CTOC head says it's expected that she will face other charges.
So the charges are larceny as a servant. She was charged also for forgery, uttering forged document. We charge her for breaches of the Proceeds of Crimes Act, breaches of the Cybercrime Act Section 4, that is access with intent to commit a fraud. The section which we charge her for, breach of the Proceeds of Crime Act, that is engaging in transaction involving criminal property. So there are a number of charges which have been laid upon her. The investigation continues. So as soon as we have other persons coming in to give their report, so we're expecting that other charges will be laid on her. I just want to also inform you that so far, based on the accounts that we have investigated so far, one of the accounts, the amount involved is $4.1 million US. Another one is $152,000 US, and the other one is over $30,000 US. There are several other accounts, which, as I said, are under investigations. And let me use this opportunity as well to appeal to those clients of SSL who, once you have proof that your account was defrauded, to contact the Fraud Squad at 922-2374. That's 922-2374. And we will appreciate the complaint and carry out the investigations.
Holness chastises persons who sought to tarnish Jamaica's image following report from Integrity Commission. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has described as bad mind the actions of some persons who sought to tarnish Jamaica's image due to the report from the Integrity Commission. The commission had investigated matters deemed to be a conflict of interest involving Mr. Holness and the operation of the construction company that was awarded some government contracts. It then ruled that the claims could not be supported and that Holness should not be charged. Speaking on the issue, Mr. Holness noted that the issue of corruption has been turned into a political weapon which is being used to distract from the real focus. He said some people seem to not want to see Jamaica succeed. When asked by reporters if he still has confidence in the commission, the Prime Minister said the matter will be reviewed and a decision taken.
At the end of the day, we are still responsible for Jamaica and its success. But you have to also bear in mind that as we remain focused, as we are able to keep our eyes on the target, and as we achieve success, there are those who see themselves constantly receding to the sidelines, and they have become desperate. They have become corrupted in their minds and in their thoughts and their deeds as well. We have a term for it, it's called bad mind. And when they see the success happening, when they see the glorious international recognition being given to Jamaica, they are not able to stomach it, to fathom it. I would say to those people who are of that persuasion, put Jamaica first, not yourself. We will be using the next couple of days, as the chairman of the Integrity Commission has made a statement, to review it carefully and to look at the framework and the scheme. We are legislators, and that is our duty, to make the legislation more effective. I think there might need to be a little bit more precision in the legislation to make it more practical as well. There are issues to do with materiality and significance and thresholds. So I think all of that needs to be looked at to just make it a better legislation. We will be reviewing everything that has been said, and you will hear more from us after we have finished our review.
2 charged after gun attack in Trelawny. 2 men have been charged with using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony following an incident in Nightingale Grove District, Jackson in Trelawny on Sunday, January 15. Charged are 26-year-old Marvin Nelson, otherwise called Shane, and 35-year-old Gawain Nelson, otherwise called Rasta, a mechanic both of High District in the parish. Reports are that about 1 p.m., a man was walking to his farm when a group of men, including Marvin and Gawain, alighted from 2 motor vehicles with firearms. The former subsequently heard explosions and managed to escape. The police were summoned and a targeted operation was conducted. On Tuesday, February 14, an identification parade was conducted and Marvin and Gawain were positively identified. Opposition surprised by declaration of more SOEs. Opposition spokesperson on justice, Senator Donna Scott Motley, says yesterday's announcement that states of public emergency have been declared in Clarendon, St. Anne and the Kingston Western Police Division comes as a surprise. The opposition has maintained its position that the current declaration of states of emergency is unconstitutional. It has refused to support extension of the measures, resulting in consecutive declaration by the government last year. According to Senator Scott Motley, the latest declaration came as a shock, firstly, because the announcement was made via social media release instead of using the press conference. She was also surprised by the declaration, considering the Commissioner of Police recently shared in a press conference that all major crimes were down by 30%. This, she argued, suggests there is no logic behind the new SOEs. Senator Scott Moody believes that the SOEs at this time are unnecessary and simply providing adequate resources to the security forces can yield positive results in crime fighting. She urged the government to become responsible, uphold the Constitution, do the job that they were appointed to do, and give the police the tools to do the proper job. Sign erected in honor of Desmond Mackenzie in Manchester vandalized. Just a week after Guava Walk Road in the Northwest Manchester community of Somerset was renamed Desmond Mackenzie Close in honor of the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, the sign was reportedly maliciously damaged. Counsel for the Janshaw division in which the community falls, Faith Sampson, told reporters that the sign was allegedly dented by a resident who objects to the renaming. Committee members saw the young man. He is known in the community. The matter was reported, but unless those who see him go to the police, then you can't do much with hearsay, she said. I just want to remind persons that vandalism is a crime, and if you vandalize property that don't belong to you, You can be in trouble with the law, she added. The sign has since been repaired and is to be reinstalled. Sampson said 95% of the residents have welcomed the renaming and acknowledged it was a move that can make their community better. The renaming wasn't thrusted upon them without their knowledge. The discussion started from June 2021 in front of the minister, the people and the sitting member of parliament, and no one objected, she stated. The renaming is said to have been inspired by Mackenzie's commitment to development of the community, including addressing serious water issues. There is a very small fraction who I think are doing this objecting because of politics. Well-thinking residents of the community are not comfortable with what was being done. They are upset. The constituency is represented by opposition Member of Parliament Michael Phillips and Sampson's division, which was considered as a solid PNP division. However, in July 2020, Sampson crossed floor during the monthly meeting at the Manchester Municipal Corporation. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click